Okay guys, this is just going to be a quick run through for how to identify hygiene instruments, or if you work at a periodontal office. I'm sure there'll be more instruments involved, but this is what I have here for hygiene. If you already watched your videos from YouTube, then you've already seen, what the difference between a deep cleaning and a regular cleaning and a perio maintenance and all that stuff are. So we're just going to go start with the paper goods that you'll need to set up. You guys know what a saliva ejector is. This is a polishing cup. It goes on it's also known as a Profi angle or polishing cup. Um, it goes on a hygiene handpiece, which is basically like a slow speed. This is Profi paste, and it goes on this nifty little holder that goes between the hygienist's fingers. And then of course floss, and then we have a floss threader for any bridges. I like to use these soft picks or proxa brushes for under bridges as well. And then a 2x2. This is fluoride varnish. And then of course we have our air water. That usually comes in this kit. So I just put it over here with your paper goods. Now, a lot of hygienists will want to get their patient numb by the dentist, but I prefer to use Oracix or Oraquix, however you want to pronounce it. And it's basically just like a topical lidocaine, prilocaine, and you just load the clear syringe in the bottom part and then put the top on, and then you put the blue part on the top of that, okay? And then to unload, you basically just twist it off right here and then press the button right here, and that will release these two, and they go in the sharps container. Okay, moving along to ultrasonic scalers. So this is my favorite. This is a slimline. You can identify a lot of these if you need to order them or whatever, if your hygienist is asking you to order more, by the numbers right here. It keeps fading in and out, but let's see if I can get it good. There it is. Okay, so that's a way to identify them, but also by the tips. So this is a slimline straight. It's my favorite one. I use this on every patient. This is a really thin one. Someone dropped this, and that's why the tip looks funny like this. It's super thin, as you can see. I usually use these before I do sealants to get in all the grooves and stuff. This is a left, right, or side angle ultrasonic scaler, and it's used, as you can see, the tip's kind of wonky looking. This is used to get in the furcation, or in between the roots of periodontally involved teeth. You can see this one goes the other way, so you use one on the left and one on the right. And then this is a much more powerful tip. You can see how thick it is, and it's called a triple bend. And these are used a lot for me with SRPs. One thing I did want to mention when handling these, there are a few rules. Number one, you don't ever want to stack these up to where this part of it gets bent, because the stacks on these, that's what they're called. This part here is the stack. If it gets bent, it reduces the effectiveness of these dramatically. So try not to bend them. If you drop these, it will break the tip off, and these are 160 bucks each on the low end. So just make sure you pay attention to that. Now what you will notice is if I put these side by side, these are different lengths. And that has to do with the type of machine they can be used in. So the machine I use can do short or long. But if you get the Cavitron brand machines, most of them only do the 30K, which is a shorter stack down here. So also, these should never go in the ultrasonic shaker with the enzyme tablets. You just use a soap and a little toothbrush and clean anything off of this part of it. Rinse it well and bag it. Okay. Moving along to hygiene handpieces, or hygiene instruments. You guys know what a mouth mirror and a regular Explorer look like. On the other end of this Explorer is a probe. And this probe has little notches on it that tell you how many millimeters deep the pocket is. We're going to move along. So this is also an Explorer, but you'll notice the ends are a little different than you're used to. And that's called an 11-12 Explorer, and that's just the angle. It's made for going down underneath the gums and checking if you left any tartar. This is a sickle scaler. And the reason they call it a sickle is the shape, and also if you look at the tip here, you'll notice that it's super pointed and sharp. And when we go to a curette or a Gracie, we'll notice that the tip is very blunt, kind of not sharp, and these are made more for going underneath the gums. And there are a lot of different sizes and shapes and styles of this kind of stuff that you'll see in each office. It just depends on the hygienist you work with as to what they prefer. But I wanted to tell you the differences between the tips. The numbers on these are the angle that these tips are, and if they're sickle or curette. Okay, moving along to implant stuff. So you guys know that you have to use plastic instruments on the implants. So these are plastic probes. I've got a curette here, and I've also got a Gracie or a sickle. And then I've got this implant ultrasonic tip. So this plastic piece on the very end does not get ran through the autoclave, and there's a key here to take it off and put it on. Okay, so just make sure you pay attention to that. And then moving along, this is for Arrestin, which is an antibiotic that's placed below the gums, and a disposable tip will go on the tip of this to be used to place antibiotic in the sulcus. So sometimes you guys might have to load these. And how you unload them is kind of the same as unloading a carpule of anesthetic, how you grab it and pull like this and it'll pop off the tip. And that's the way you load it too. You pull it like this, you place the plastic tip in, and then you let go. All right, thanks guys.